Today, we take a deeper look into how to align your actions with your long term aspirations. As we move into part two of our vision series, this is the 30. Let's go. Hey there, welcome to the 30. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the 30. Glad that you decide to be here. Do me a huge favor, as always, like and share this episode. This is episode 235. I think we're there right now. And also, if you're watching us from YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is at the 30 with Patrick. Go ahead and do that. Tell someone, right? If you're watching us from LinkedIn, you can always repost it, give us a like and repost it. And that will be greatly appreciated. Thank you again for joining me here on this episode. Today, we are going to be talking about part two of what we started last time, which was Vision 2025, charting your path for growth and impact. So that's what we'll be covering in this episode. Last week, if you remember, or in our last episode, in our previous episode, I laid out three specific ways as to how you can chart your path for growth and impact. Go ahead and after this one, you can always refer back to our previous episode and catch up there. But I talked in our previous episode about three ways. I give you three specific ways. And that was one, reflect on the previous year. So reflect on last year and ask yourself some very specific questions as you reflect. So I'm not going to go over those questions now, but you can go back and review those lists of questions that I outline for you. The second way that you can chart your path for growth and impact is to create a vision for yourself. And I talked about the definition of a vision. I gave you an example of what my vision is, and a vision is more long-term. We also explained the difference between vision and goal. What is the difference between a vision and a goal? So I outlined that in our previous episode. Again, go back and take a look at that. Then we talked about how do we set goals, setting goals for 2025. I explained to you what the goals were and how do you set those goals. And I also talked to you about our goal sheet. We have a goal sheet that I am going to set that forth and where you can download that for free. And then next week, I will give an opportunity to actually, if you download that, I will give an opportunity to learn how do you complete that goal sheet. So look for that coming early next week as to how do we do that. So today, since we are caught up with part one, now we're moving into part two of what I call our vision series. This is where we'll take a deeper look into how to align your actions with your long-term aspirations. So now that you've started charting your path, it's time now to really refine your strategy and your action steps. So we have you thinking about your path. You started that process, and we're going to take a deeper dive in terms of how do we align your strategy and action steps for execution. Because it's good to write things down. It's good to think about them. It's good to discuss them. But if you're not executing or moving forward or implementing them, it's pretty much you're wasting time, right? It's like having discussions, uh, thinking about it, writing it down. But if there's no execution, why are you doing those things? So it's all about executing. So we're going to talk about how can you refine your strategy and access and action steps for execution and to ensure that you stay on track and for sustained growth over this year of 2025. It's about growth and impact, growing and making sure that you are making an impact for this year. So, I will discuss in this particular episode how do we create a dynamic roadmap? How do we build resilience? And how do we navigate the challenges and stay accountable for our vision? How do you do that? So, I'm going to outline, I'm going to give you 4 topics. I'm going to give you 4 things. We're we're going to cover 4 topics in this episode. And I invite you to drop me a line. You can put your questions or your comments in the chat. You can do that during this episode, or if you want to put them after we go off live, you can do that also. So, number one, let's talk about the number one way that we can, our strategy that we can ensure that you stay on track for sustained growth and impact throughout the year. Number one is to fine tune your strategy for long haul. So fine tune your strategy and your action steps. So what is a strategy? A strategy is basically a general course of action, right? A general course of action for you to in order to achieve your goal. And then your action steps, specific things, right? Specific steps. So how do you fine tune? So that's number one. Fine tune your strategy for the long haul. Then we're going to talk about building resilience and staying adaptable in the face of challenges. Then number 3 is the power of accountability. So having an accountability partner or a network, a group, right? A community that will hold you accountable as you move forward in accomplishing your goals and your vision, which is long term. And then number 4, we're going to be talking about tracking progress. How do we track your progress and making sure that when you track them and when you achieve those goals, that you celebrate those milestones, however small they are or however large they are, that you celebrate those milestones so that you can stay motivated. So that is what we're going to be covering. I doubt if we'll get to all of them today. We may get to the first 2, and then we'll do a part 3 for the remainder if we need to. So number 1, fine tuning your strategy for the long haul. So what does that mean, right? So after you've set your initial vision, after you've established your goals, it's important for us to revisit those goals from time to time. I like to say every month you can look at your goals to see where you are. Look at your individual goals and then look at your strategy, but more importantly, look at your action steps, because the action steps are the one that's going to help you to drive to get to your strategy, to help you get to your objective or your goal. So you want to revisit them as often as possible. So your action steps is basically your roadmap that will help you to get to where you want to go. So revisit them, and you can pretty much adjust them, right? Because if you didn't get them, if you didn't hit your accomplish your action step for a particular time frame, you can always readjust them and keep going at it again. Again, your action steps are the things that's going to help you to get to your strategy, that will help you get to your goal or your objective. So the plan, right? So look at your action steps. They should be dynamic, but very specific in terms of having a time or a date on them as to when you would like to accomplish that action steps. We know that you may not achieve every action or hit every action step in the time frame that you would like it to be. So you have to be able to be flexible and adaptable and be able to pivot. I always like to tell those that we train and coach is that flexibility is the key to it. You may set it, but if you don't achieve it, it's always good to revisit, readjust, pivot, and move forward. So that's the first one, right? It's to fine tune your strategy, fine tune your action steps, and then start to move forward. Looks like we're having some issues here. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like we weren't live on LinkedIn. No, we are live on on LinkedIn. So if you're watching us from YouTube, and if you're picking this up now from LinkedIn, it's now showing. We may have to go back and take a look at it and get you the entire episode. But anyhow, so refine your approach. Think about the long term, right? Think about the long goal, the long in terms of looking at it, looking at your goal or your vision long term. So looking at it at the long haul. This is 12 months. So if you set your goal for 12 months, look at it from a 12-month period, but also set your action steps, your individual steps, short term to achieve the long haul. So fine tune whatever strategy on action step that you've made. Now is the time to get in and fine tune them. Now is the time to be very specific. It's not time to be playing around anymore. You have to be serious about what you would like to achieve. So make sure that you set those things going. Set milestones, specific milestones. Set them up, right? Be serious, be committed in what you would like to achieve. Time can be too short, so set it up. Move forward. The other part, now, number 2 here is building resilience and staying adaptable in the face of challenges. We know as you go forward in execution of your goals, in the execution of your action steps, and execution of your strategy, you are going to be faced with challenges. That's life, folks. Things may come up that you may say, oh my gosh, I never planned for this. Well, it's something that is inevitable. Challenges, life happens. So, in essence, when you're faced with these things, even before you're faced with them, the best way to move forward is to build what I call a resilient mindset. That when things come up, when things happen, when you're faced with challenges or hurdles, that your mindset is saying, I am not quitting, I am not giving up. I'm going to have a resilient mindset that I'm going to rise to the occasion, that I'm going to move forward despite whatever happens. So I call that a resilient mindset, where you don't quit, where you don't give up. You pivot or you reset, right? And move forward. So we're going to emphasize that here, that in the face of adversity, in the face of challenges, that your mindset should be, I am resilient. I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. I quit last year. I give up on the goal. I'm not going to do it this year. The second part of that, as you build resilience and stay adaptable, is that your strategy and your action steps should be fluid. Yes, you set a date on it, but you should also be fluid in realizing that if it doesn't happen in that time frame, you pivot, you reset it, and move forward. Here's another part of being resilient when things happen. Great leaders, if you're looking at it from a leadership perspective, whether you're a leader or a manager, you're entrepreneur, you're small business owners, if you study these individuals that become great, when things happen to them, they don't give up. They dig in, right? They dig in, they move forward. They may have a setback, but they don't quit. They don't give up. They dig in and they move forward. You can do the same. We all experience setbacks. We've all experienced challenges, but don't give up, my friends. Dig in and keep moving forward. Building resilience and staying adaptable in the face of challenges, in the face of adversity, in the face of setbacks. The third one, so I told you that I'm going to give you 2 or 3, and that's what I'm going to do. The third one here is the power of accountability. You've heard me talk about this on numerous occasions. Building accountability. You have to be accountable to someone. Success doesn't come in a vacuum. So responsibility and accountability when it comes to success, when it comes to leadership, right? When it comes to entrepreneurship, have an accountability partner. It could be your coach. It could be a mentor. It could be a friend. It could be a spouse. But have an accountability partner, someone that you know that you can go to when the rubber meets the road, when you're facing challenges that you want to talk to someone about, right? Someone that is going to say, hey, you set this goal, you set this action step, right? Why are you giving up? Why are you quitting? Why are you whining about it? Move forward. So you want to make sure that you have an accountability partner where you stay accountable, not just to them or not just to yourself, but also to them. Accountability, and here's something that I read. It says, staying accountable to your goals is one of the strongest drivers of success. I'll say that again. Staying accountable to your goals is one of the strongest drivers of success. As you know, we have developed or formed what we call the Impact Leaders Connect community. That is a community of leaders and business owners where we come together and we hold each other accountable. Not only we discuss where we're going, what we're doing, not only do we receive inspirational quotes and messages, but we hold each other accountable. We can discuss openly in our community some of the things that we want to accomplish, and we hold each other accountable for moving forward and accomplishing those things. There's a very thin line, folks, between success and failure, a very thin line. And we have to understand where that thin line is. So when things get tough for us, when we're faced with challenges and adversity, it's always good to have someone that you can talk to. It's always good to have someone that you can say, all right, for now, I don't feel like making those calls. I don't feel like whether it's going to the gym, if that's your goal in terms of losing weight or building muscle. I don't feel like doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But what that accountability partner does is that person gives encouragement. That person also pushes you. So individuals can help ensure that you are staying true to what you say that you're going to do. These individuals can help you, encourage you to stay true to your commitments and help you to push forward. I like what Erica says here. She says, keep moving forward, right? Keep moving forward. Don't give up. An accountability partner can help you do that. An accountability partner could be your coach, holding you accountable to what you said that you're going to do. That's what we do as far as coaches. When I enter into an agreement with a coach, with someone that wants us to be a coach, want me to be their coach, whether it's an executive coach or management or business owner, whatever that coaching arrangement is, and they've set out their goals, my job and my responsibility is to help them to get there. And part of that is to hold them accountable. If they've committed, before we do anything, we're going to talk about their goals. We're going to discuss what it takes, right? Because they're the ones that's going to do the work. I'm going to ask the questions and I'm going to hold them accountable. But the coachee or the person that I'm coaching, that person or persons are the ones that's going to do the work. My responsibility is to hold them accountable to what they say that they're going to do. And that's part of being the power of accountability, partners, networks, communities, right? That's what we do. So why do accountability matters? You heard from what I've just said, right? Staying accountable to your goal is one of the strongest drivers for success. That's why accountability is so important. So you build a support system. It could be your coach, as I mentioned. It could be your community. It could be our Connect community or whatever community that you're in. Make sure that you are open to being held accountable. I know sometimes we shy away from being accountable to others. We shy away from being committed based on what we've gone through in the past. But if whatever goal that you set for 2025, whatever long-term vision that you set, it's going to take commitment, folks. It's going to take accountability. It's going to take focus. It's going to take work in accomplishing that goal. So as you have a coach or community, leverage them. Leverage your networks for growth. Leverage the individuals that are part of that community or that network. So not just one person, but the whole community. Because you may not, if you're looking at a community, you may not be totally aligned or may be afraid to have one person, right, holding you accountable, but the whole community, the whole group, you can rely on. And you can let them know, hey, hold me accountable. Because I'm the type of person that I may be able to, part of my background may be that I procrastinate. That could be your downfall, is that you procrastinate. But if you have a group, a community that's holding you accountable, that's a win for you. You may not like it. You may find it irritating, but it's okay. Talk about irritated. We just graduate a cohort, 17 supervisors and managers from the city of Rochester just today. And one of the cohort members said to me, Patrick, you during the course of the 10 weeks, because what I told them in the beginning, you may hate me in the 10 weeks, you may despise me, you may find me irritating, some of you may even want to curse at me, right? But it's okay, because my responsibility is to make sure that you're successful. that you graduate when the 10 weeks is over, that you take away something that you can implement. I'm going to hold you accountable and responsible as a leader. Because now that you have signed up for the class, you are going through the class. My responsibility is to hold you accountable to ensure that you take away something that you can implement as you move forward. So today, this individual said to me, Patrick, I want to thank you so very much for holding me accountable. But I must be honest to you. Sometimes you were just irritating to me. You irritated me. I was upset with you. I didn't like you sometimes, but I'm thankful that you held me accountable, that you didn't allow me to be comfortable, that you pushed me out of my comfort zone. And it wasn't easy for me, but it was worth it. So thank you for holding me accountable. And that meant a lot to me because I knew, as I told them, my job is to push them out of the comfort zone. Because growth is only experienced when you make the decision to step out of your comfort zone. So that was my responsibility, was to push them out of their comfort zone. Mission accomplished. So everyone that started a journey finished the journey. Everyone that started from day one completed all 10 weeks. And that's a huge win. And not only did they complete it, but they completed it with distinction. So it's not about us, but it's making sure that you are successful. So as we wrap up this episode, part 2, charting your path for growth and impact, I hope that you've learned or taken away something from this episode. Go back and watch episode 2, and then again go back and watch episode 1, and then review episode 2 once again. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the 30. As we move forward, we are going to, haven't decided if I'm going to do a part 3 yet. I will review this and see if we have, I think there are two other ways or two other strategies, two other topics that I want to discuss with you. So I'll decide whether or not in the coming days, if we want to make this a part 3 next week, or if we want to push it down the road. But whatever you do, make sure that you are setting time, putting aside time to create and write down your vision, which is long-term, and also set your goals for 2025. Vision is long-term, goals are short-term. So you can go goals short-term for this year, intermediate. Vision is different from a goal. If you want to learn what the difference is, go back to part 1. So folks, thank you for being here. You email me if you have any suggestions for episodes coming up. info@jackmangroupllc.com, or if you just want to say hi, or if you would like us to help you in developing your vision and your goals, send us an email, info@jackmangroupllc.com. Look out in the coming days as we make the announcement for, we're going to send or have the ability to download our goal setting sheet, and then also set up a time where we can walk through with you. This is going to be outside of the 30. It'll be a separate call where those that have registered or signed up or downloaded our goal sheet will have an opportunity to join us at no cost, where I will present and help you walk through the goal sheet, which is a goal, strategy, and action steps. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And as we move forward to next week, may God bless you. May God keep you and keep moving forward. Let's make 2025 the most successful year to date in everything that you do, spiritually, professionally, business, and personally. Family. God bless you. See you then.